Hello, my name's Sarah and you're watching I Talk to Notebooks. Today I wanted to pop in and make a little video about a Christmas tradition that I'm doing for my third year in a row. I wanted to show off what I'm working on and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit through the tradition and why I do it. So, when I was growing up, for the most part, apart from like childhood, like elementary school maybe, I wasn't much of a Christmas person. Most of the Christmas I associated with being like a really like brief period of time when you had a lot of homework, a lot of finals coming up, couldn't really relax, and it was just a really stressful time. I remember being frustrated when Christmas music would start to play because I felt like it was reminding me of a time when I could relax and just enjoy the holiday season. And now it was reminding me that I couldn't do that, that I had to just be worrying about school all the time. And I never really cared too much about Christmas or was too interested in decorating or helping to decorate until 2020. In 2019, my family moved away, like 3,000 miles away from where I grew up, and I stayed behind because I had a job and, serious boyfriend here. And then the pandemic hit. And I had plans to go home and visit my family for the holidays, and all of a sudden, those plans were canceled. And so I went to Walmart. This was when stores were open up, you had to mask and everything. And I went and, sorry, this was 2021, not 2020. No, it was 2020. Anyways, you don't care. The point is, it was during the pandemic. I went and I got a bunch of very affordable, cheap Christmas decorations and decorated my little apartment. And I don't know why. I assumed it was because of lockdown, because I was bored and stuck at home, that's what made me want to decorate for Christmas. But I realized maybe a year or two after that it wasn't about being lonely or about being stuck in lockdown. It was that I had taken for granted that Christmas is really mom. That's what it is, I think, for the vast majority of people. And in my case, that's definitely true. And with my mom so far away, celebrating Christmas was something that I feel like was a symptom of me missing her, and trying to celebrate it was a symptom of me, was like my way of trying to deal with that. So, in December 2022, a lot of cool stuff happened. I did finally get to go visit my family. And where they live, they have a store called Hobby Lobby that I don't have here. And I know there's mixed feelings about Hobby Lobby, but anytime I get a chance to go to a craft store that I haven't been to before, okay, I'm going to go. And I went with my mom because she has my brother and my dad. She doesn't have anybody to go craft store shopping with, let's just say. And so she took me. She was really excited to show me the Hobby Lobby. And it was around Christmas time. And I bought a bunch of stuff. So let me show you guys my Christmas box. Now this box is not from Hobby Lobby. This box I think is from Michaels, and I think I got it after the fact. But most of the stuff, almost everything in this box that I'm now opening up, is from 2 shopping trips. One of these shopping trips was this year, actually, or maybe, yeah, it was this year. And I have all these Christmas ribbons. All of these, lots of them. And the reason I have these is I was having a very bad day. I don't want to go into it, but it was a terrible day. One of the things that went wrong, that was by far the least problematic thing that went wrong, was that my car was having electrical trouble all day long. And I mistakenly thought that it was an issue with the starter, and I have a portable jump starter in my car, and I had to drive a lot that day. It was not the time for my car to be breaking down, and I'd already had car troubles that were interfering with work. So I just kept jump starting it every time I needed to start it. Now I realize that there's a lot wrong with doing that. The issue was that the alternator was dying. It had nothing to do with starting the car. It had to do with the fact that the battery wasn't charging when I was running the car. So the entire car died during my bad day. And as part of that bad day, I had driven a lot, and I had made a stop at Joann Fabric because I was having such a bad day and was so stressed and so sad. And I wanted to do some plain old retail therapy. Like, there's no two ways about it. It's not the healthiest way to cope, but there was a lot of this Christmas ribbon on sale. There was a lot of yarn on that was like cheap and that I liked it. It made me happy. I've made all kinds of stuff out of that yarn since then, so it's all been used. And I don't journal with ribbon a lot because it's really hard to work with. But this Christmas ribbon that I'm going to pull out and kind of show you makes me so happy. I love it. And every year when I bring out my Christmas box, and this is all my Christmas journaling stuff, it's all in one box, everything, okay? It's very much a capsule collection. When I bring this out, it makes me feel so happy and so excited. And, you know, it reminds me of how much I learned, because after I went to Joann that day, my car completely broke down. I mean, the alternator, just the battery couldn't handle it. I ended up far from home in a place where I wasn't familiar with, and I was stranded and scared, and my insurance, which has roadside assist, did not pick up. They said they had a shortage of tow trucks. Please just try to avoid calling, which really sucks, and I need to make sure not to pay for that this year, because it obviously doesn't work. But my father-in-law came. He has a tow truck company. He came to pick me up, and my husband came and stayed with me. And it was just a time when, you know, with no family in the area, I have nobody here, I really felt less alone. And so also the other things that made that day really bad are things that I've, you know, healed from and made a lot of progress on, just a lot of personal stuff that is so much better now. So when I look back on these ribbons and on that day, you know, I think it's happy now in retrospect. It was a good thing, and I don't regret it. I know retail therapies generally don't do that, but like, I have loved everything I got that day, and it all makes me happy and fills me with joy. So don't come to me if you're trying to shop less, because I will not tell you to. Some of these stamps, the stamps are also from Michaels. We'll come back to these snowflakes in a little bit. I've got just a few Christmas stamps, not too many, just a little capsule collection here. Very thoughtfully assembled. I think there should have been some birds in here that I may have put in the wrong place, but who cares? This washi tape, though, almost all of this, I think maybe even all of it, was from that Hobby Lobby trip that I took with my mom. The first Christmas we spent together after they moved away after the pandemic. And all the stickers I'm going to show you are from that trip. And these two little paper packs that you're going to see more of when I start flipping through the journal are from that trip. So that's my Christmas box. And when I open the box, it reminds me of my mom and of that trip and of all those happy memories. Also that Christmas, my mom does pretty much all the Christmas shopping. So one of the gifts I got a lot of that were basically just from her were these field notebooks that I put on my Christmas list. I put a bunch of different collections just hoping I'd get a few, and I got, so she gave me basically almost all the ones I asked for. It must have been like 5 to 10 3-packs of field notes, which you guys know, if you're in the community, you know that this is like, you know, these are kind of a big deal. It's not like the cheapest thing in the world. So I think that's another part of why I picked this. It's also small, so I can do it during the week of Christmas, or I can do it during the month of December, whichever one I feel like doing. I think this time I'm going to do it for like the last 2 weeks of December, maybe. But I decorated ahead of time. This is the last day of November, so I want to get it done. So this one is from the United States Letterpress. United States of Letterpress collection. Really cool. It's by this one particular artist who just really has a passion for letterpress. Her little bio's here. Erin Beckloff received her first press as a wedding gift from her in-laws in 2008 and gained experience as an intern at the famed Hat Show Print in Nashville, Tennessee. So I just really find that inspiring. She followed her dreams. It's a very cool notebook. I'm going to fill out this part. This isn't the only thing I use my field notes for, but it's one of the most consistent uses I get out of them. And I just go through and I decorate the entire thing. So I guess that's the entire background of, I guess, why I do it. I think another reason that I do it is, I think I really get a big kick out of, so I'm sorry, and I'm not going to edit this, so there may be some rambling. I think subconsciously I did it in part because Girl and Quill, who's one of my favorite journaling YouTubers, she actually had this tradition of doing a December daily. Never was really into it because this was back before I became kind of more of a Christmas person. But, you know, I think that subconsciously wormed its way into my mind as well. Like, I'm going to do this special Christmas journal for December. Now, I don't do it necessarily for all of December, like I said, but that's part of it. So I love these lights. I love Christmas light stickers. That's another thing too. So, okay, this I did not get at the Hobby Lobby trip. I got these at Michael's the other day with a coupon. It was like $2, not $4. Okay, not that they don't know what they do and that it's supposed to be that way all along. But I probably shouldn't have. I've really been cutting back on shopping a lot, pretty successfully. These hit me in the nostalgia bone, though, because back when I was in high school, and again, school was so stressful and I couldn't really get into the Christmas spirit. The one thing that I did, and my mom always enabled this, is she would take me to Michael's and let me get Christmas light stickers. And I would go to the Christmas break week of my planner and I'd put Christmas light stickers, just sticker bomb the entire spread. It was a week spread. And it made me feel, I would go and look at it when I felt stressed about finals. It was such a psychological buff. It was so great. And when I saw these in the Michael's store, even though they're not the exact same ones, I thought, man, that feels nostalgic. And again, I didn't even make the connection at the time, but it's the exact same thing. It's just my mom. That's all it is. That is what Christmas is really a lot about. I mean, obviously, you know what I'm trying to say. It's not actually about that, but that's a big part of what it means to me personally. And these cardinal stickers, again, have a connection to my mom. And where should I put these? I don't even know. I kind of want to put it like right there. Wouldn't that be cute? Just kind of matches. So anyways, these are the stickers I pulled out. I got lots of duplicates at Hobby Lobby. I spent so much money there those few years ago, and I've been like trucking through these stickers. So I pulled out all of these, and I'm going to use up all these and some of these labels. I always use a few of these labels, but I'm not going to use them up. So that was one of the reasons I think that I did it, was because of the December daily and because of the Christmas nostalgia. And what's really interesting, because at first I was like, this is kind of goes against my regular MO, you know? Because the thing is, I like continuity. I mean, you know, you should know that about me by now. I like when things are continuous. I am not a very big fan of having interruptions in my journals where I, you know, I'll finish one, you know, quote unquote early because I don't like the journal, or I'll move along or whatever. Oh man, I dropped all my sticker sheets. I really don't have to edit this video, but I might have to because I really want to use that sticker. If I cannot find it, that's going to be an issue. I thought I had it. Okay, well, I guess I'm splicing. It was literally right on my desk. Okay, this is one of my favorites too. I got so many of these. They're winter drinks. Nothing, man, you could be having the worst week in the world from a first world perspective, and then have a peppermint mocha from Starbucks, and it's like that taste nostalgia just overrides a lot of it. Wow, has this been in the way the entire time? Can you guys even see? What is happening? Why is this like, you see, this is the kind of thing where I stop making videos because like dealing with this on top of everything is just a lot, okay? Anyways, where was I? Oh, right. I was trying to tell you about, the reasons that I do it. So I mentioned some of them. Another one that has kind of appeared over time is that, I didn't realize this when I started, but oh no, the adhesive came off this tree. This is hilarious. I hope you can see this now. This is so funny. Look at this clear tree-shaped sticker. And I just stick the actual... Ah, that was such an expensive sticker. Anyways, let me not be a total buzzkill. What if I just put all of these here now? That'd be kind of cute. Something I didn't realize was going to happen was that because I've complained about this on the channel several times, because I have not had a moment of peace in like 5 years, basically, because of that fact, every December, some catastrophe is going on, pretty much. Now, the first one I did was actually from that same year. I filled it out kind of after the fact. Of that one time that I celebrated Christmas with my family far away. I haven't been back. And that is full of pictures from our time together and so on and so forth. And, but apart from that, I filled them out right around the same time each year. I think that's okay. And it's just crazy. Okay, so this is something I wanted to point out. These blue and white snowflakes, my mom loves those. So you'll see that motif around here. I always make sure to include these again because they make me think of her. Okay, so I was trying to say before I interrupted myself and completely went on like all these random tangents that are probably really frustrating to listen to, is every December I've had like some kind of freaking catastrophe, it feels like. I guess maybe not a catastrophe, but like major life changes that are just like so disruptive, so all-consuming, so anxiety-inducing, uncomfortable, devastating in a lot of cases. And again, these are not things that are objectively difficult to deal with, I don't think. I think there are a lot of people who thrive on these kinds of changes, and I have had to work on and have made some success, really I have, working on being less allergic to big life changes, because I'm just at a phase in my life where big changes are just one after another, one after another, one after another. It's just that time. I'm in my 20s. That's what happens. And for some people, it goes on much, much longer than that, you know, and it could be so many bigger changes. But even the ones that I've been having are like, I just don't, it's my personality. I just don't do well with it. So what's interesting is to go back and look at these particular journals are almost like, looking at them, it's almost like a time capsule of like, okay, here's just a snapshot of my Christmas year after year. It's almost like, this is so melodramatic of me to even make this comparison, but it's almost like in the Christmas Carol, like the ghost of Christmas present, the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas future. Oh man, definitely a cardinal. It's gonna go right there. Oh yeah, I knew that was gonna be a good choice. And the last Christmas tree is gonna go on the spread too. I love the spread. This is my favorite spread in this entire journal. I just love everything about it. That's why I put these here too. I hope I have something good to put on here when I do write in it. So yeah, it's kind of like a Christmas Carol, the ghost of Christmas future, the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, except they're all just ghosts of Christmas past. Should I put, oh, that's so cute. See, how can you be stressed with this? So last year, the big stressor was, among other things, I mean, there was like personal stuff and mental health stuff, but like, I had a really bad head cold, which I know, you do not have to tell me, like, you really had a head cold. I used to get them super, super, super bad. Not as bad as some people do, of course, but like, they would disrupt my life significantly because I just cannot breathe on a good day. But ever since I started using the CPAP machine, I have not been getting them as bad. I heal so much faster with, like, you know, sleep. It's a thing that helps you heal from diseases. Imagine that. So that has been really helpful. But another thing is that I was looking for a new job, which is, ugh, oh, that's gross. Oh dear. No, 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 no. Not ruining that. That's a close one. Some might say it was more than a close one. I experimented with putting washi tape here on the seams. I'm not sure if it's going to stick because, you know, my motto is nothing ever sticks. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, no, it's not. Hold on. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so anyways, this may not come up. I was getting a new job, which, and I'm lucky, you know, I wasn't out of a job. I wasn't laid off. It wasn't really objectively that stressful of a situation, but I'm just the type of person where when a big part of my life changes like that, it's so, I just can't cope with it hardly. It's terrible. So that was it. I'd also just moved that year. And you guys know, I mean, I've gotten a lot of understanding about this. Like, I don't think anybody finds moving to be like, oh, you know, there's some people who are like, oh, I love moving, you get to do a new place. But like, for a lot of people, it's like, this is the worst thing ever. I don't ever want to do this. It makes me want to throw up. And that's me to a T. So, with that in mind, I was exhausted and I just felt like it was never going to end. And, oh, around that time, I also had found out that I was going to have to move again this year. I think I've complained about that. That's why I haven't been posting. It's because it's just too freaking much. I can't. I have to cut things back, even things I like doing, like this. I've been journaling like crazy, but I have not been too good about posting any videos, nor have I been trying to. And so, with all that, this December is going to be all about the move, because we are probably going to be right in the middle of moving. Or, fun fact, we were supposed to be about to close. We were supposed to just be waiting for the last few things to come together, and then we're going to close on the house, and then we're going to move, and it's going to be, of course, you know, where I live, you can't just move into a house. You got to move into a house that's like not even fit to be a house, honestly, and then you got to try to fix it and make it into a livable place with like functioning house things. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm a total diva, but like, I don't think that wanting lights in your house or like coverings over your windows or, you know, outlets that are up to code, you know, things like that, at least one garbage disposal somewhere in the house would be great. Things like that, you know, a shower curtain that actually curtains the shower. I know. I ask for a lot. Where we live, that is asking for a lot. With our budget, which isn't that low, but it is low for where we are. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So, grateful that we were able to find someplace. But now, you know, I was looking at the nightmare of moving everything, and we had the easiest possible circumstances to move. Moving everything, you know, and should I do these guys again? I really want to, but I'm not going to. I feel like it's too many. Moving everything, and then not only that, but then trying to figure out renovations. And because, I mean, obviously I'm not a millionaire, so it's like renovations are not like, oh, let's just call someone in like I'm the Queen of England. Like, no, researching it, getting a bunch of different quotes, figuring out how we're going to budget for it, because that's usually something that I tend to do. I trust me, I don't contribute that much to my relationship, so like that's the least I can do, is try to help figure out budgeting. And oh yeah, cardinal, that's the last cardinal. He goes, oh no, he's upside down. He's not upside down, but he was angled funny. Okay, did it again. There, that's better. So that's something to focus on and to deal with. And then, of course, there's going to be talking to people. And then there's the balance, right? Because we can DIY some of it. We'll have to DIY some of it to be in the budget. So there's that aspect of figuring out, you know, what to DIY. And, of course, I'm manic. I am a manic. I mean, that's a clinical term, so I shouldn't use it. But I am very, like, hyper-focused on things when I feel stressed about them. So I've been, like, obsessively watching, you know, YouTube on DIY stuff, like everything, stuff I should not be touching, but in 2023, I'm going to have to touch it, like, period, because that's just how it is. You can't afford to hire out everything. So, you know, looking into all that, researching all that, getting ready to move, figuring out the cheapest way to move, like all that stuff. And then come to find out today, getting a call that basically, oh, I think that's good. That's symmetric. Make that symmetric. Oh yeah, this all worked out. That is so perfect. See how can I be too stressed? But today we found out that, you know, we did the inspection, we did this, we did that. One stressful thing after the next. Oh, by the way, your appraiser came back. He appraised the house conveniently at exactly what you offered for it, which is convenient. But then, turns out, fun fact, the analyst who looks at the appraisal report was like, hey, did you measure the square footage of this one weird room the way that you're legally required to? And he was like, I don't know. And then she's like, well, did you make sure that this, you know, kitchen is up to code? And he's like, I don't know, might be. And the analyst who works for the bank, she's like, well, we can't approve this loan, you know, if the kitchen doesn't have the right permits. We're not going to approve that. Could, you know, that's not, we're not going to give these people a loan for this house. So the appraiser's like, fine, I'll go back. Mind you, he already took forever to do the first appraisal, like way longer than he was supposed to. And now he has to go back and do another report and blah, blah, blah. And this house, of course, like I said, now where am I going to put these Christmas lights? Let's solve that before I get back to my story. My long story that I'm sure is so fascinating. I feel like I want to put them here, but it's too soon after this perfect spread. I'm going to put them near the beginning. Oh, but that's too close to the beginning. Then they'll be used up. Oh, also, I put this stamp on the front. It's supposed to say do not open until December 25th. It was a risk. I took it. It looks like kind of okay. I wouldn't say it looks great, but I don't regret it. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to flip through this whole thing and figure out where I want to put these. But, so he's going back, and it turns out that, like, and my husband and I thought of this immediately, but it took, I guess, the realtor and the loan officer, whoever, a little bit extra to think of this, because I guess they work with a lot of people. This might be the page. And, oh, or this. And they were saying, like, hey, by the way, this house is old as the hills. It is an old house. It has been here since before time. And, oh, and this is right in the middle. This has got to be the spot. And so, you must realize that because your house is so old, or this house that you're trying to get that is not yours yet, because notably you have not yet closed on it, you are looking at trying to get the seller to find documentation of permits from 1975. Is that going to realistically be a thing that happens? I mean, you don't need me to tell you that that is not realistically going to be a thing that happens in any universe. And it goes on. I mean, while I'm sticking the stickers, I can tell you, because I find it kind of funny. The loan officer's like, but don't worry. I have an idea. I know something you can do to make this all go away. At this point, bear in mind, my husband and I are still like, the kitchen doesn't have a permit? What? Because there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to get the house to like a livable state. And this is without, you know, having any inkling that there might be a permit issue with, do I even like this? Permit issue with the kitchen. And so the loan officer's like, no, this has worked before. What you do is you take the stove out of the kitchen, you move it, you get it out of sight. Then it's not legally a kitchen anymore. Which you might think to yourself, if you're watching this, but yes, it's true that if you don't get it legally counted as a kitchen, then the appraiser might be like, oh, well, you know, we don't need a kitchen permit for not a kitchen. Yes, that works very well on paper if you're a lawyer or some disinterested third party. But if you're someone who's going to move into that house, you don't maybe want to move into a house that doesn't have a kitchen permit, because what do you do with that stove once it's all over? Do you plug it back in and hope for the best? Do you try to find the permits when we try to sell the house? You know, at some point, would that be a problem? Where am I going to put these? I'm getting stressed. I mean, again, if you're the loan officer, that's a great idea. If you're the people who have to live in the house, I just don't see. And to be completely transparent, this house is a little weird. It's not particularly big, but it has 2 kitchens. So it's the second one that's causing the problem. I know that sounds like super wealthy and bougie, but if you saw the house, I think you would understand that, like, it's not a bad house at all, but it's definitely not some mansion from, like, you know, Bridgerton or whatever, where they have, you know, all the kitchens. I haven't watched that show. I don't know if they have that. But my point is that this stuff is all very, what's the word? It's a little concerning as a first-time home buyer, because you're thinking, how on earth am I gonna live in this house if there's all this stuff that's just like kind of janky? So we're like, no, we would like the kitchen to have a permit. Let's try and get the kitchen to have a permit. And of course, if they can't do that, you know, they can't find it or whatever. Then, let me do the final flip through. Then we have the option to try to unplug the stove and try a third time. But it makes everything take longer. The longer we wait, the longer we are not breaking our lease, the longer we're paying rent. And I don't know, I've lost a lot of faith in the process because a lot of the experts, not a lot of them, some of the experts that we've hired have had some issues. And clearly the appraiser didn't do a good job the first time. So, and I'm sure they're very busy. I'm sure they've got a lot going on. Everyone makes mistakes. If I got, raked over the coals every time I made a mistake, I would be not but a pile of ashes. But at the same time, it is hard to believe what everybody's saying because I do feel like we've been a little bit led astray about some things. And so it's just a lot to think about. And that is the big theme that's probably going to be in this December Christmas journal. It's probably going to be about either moving, which we would be doing at this time if this does not fall apart, or it will be about house hunting if we're still doing that, because this did fall through, which is exciting. House hunting is fun, but it's also really terrifying because it's fun to look, but when you realize what your actual limitations are, it's not so fun. It's kind of like, it's fun to make a budget when you have a lot of money, but when you don't have enough, it sucks because it's just like an impossible puzzle that you can't solve and you want to give up. So anyways, I felt like we kind of lucked out with this house, and if it doesn't work out, it's going to be hard, but we'll find a way through. And these are all very lucky problems to have that we can even get into the market at all. So that's my life. That's my Christmas journal. That's what's been going on. And the conclusion is that there's no Christmas without your mom. So if you are with your mom this Christmas, show her some appreciation. And if you are not with your mom this Christmas, ignore her and show her no appreciation. No, that's a joke. You should still give her a call unless you hate your mom. And then that's above my pay grade. Can't help you with that. Sorry. Merry Christmas to all. Happy holidays to everybody who doesn't celebrate Christmas. And to all, a good night.